Hey everyone, welcome back to my workbench. So, it looks like we finally conquered the beast. The 16-way Intellivision controller took a bit more tweaking than I thought. So what I ended up doing was three things. So, it's hard to see. Whoa, jeez, that went flying. But this, believe it or not, is a 16-way gate. It's very subtle, but this actually has 16. It's a 16-sided polygon on the inside here, so it helps when it rides over the one actuator rides over there for the limits. And then the second thing I did is I had to tweak the positioning of where the micro switches hit. And that's these guys here, these little red guys here. That's for the second deck. The first deck stays original for the joystick, and then the second deck uses these. And then this is a custom 3D printed part again, and then these drop onto here. So the secret was I was getting too long of an actuation, so you start at 0, and that switch basically comes on at 12.25 degrees, and it spans through 22.5 degrees and then comes back off. So it's a pretty narrow window where it needs to stay on. So what I end up having to do is take a pair of flush cutters and cut down the actuator so it pulls off. This is how it comes standard. You can actually buy them with shorter actuators, but I literally have like 200 of these things, so I need to use what I have first. So if it turns out if you cut it flush right around, right forward of where the actuator hits, where the actual micro switch is at, so you take off about 3 millimeters off the end. And my flush, I just ordered my new flush cutters. There we go. So now you can see this one was bent, but this is the original, and this is the cut down. So this whole end here, gone. So it cuts down on the actuator. So it's a little hard to see, but you go, or you're up at, say, we'll call this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 5, 6, sorry, 6. Why is it always hard to do there? There we go. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. I guess felt it come all the way through. So the challenge now is wire one of these up momentarily and try them on the real system. So it's got a different sound than it used to. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. That's 15. Alright, so much better than it used to be. If I need to tweak the length of the actuator a little more, I will, but it seems to be pretty darn close. Before I was doing what they call fast-on connectors. That's a lot of crimping. I'm at the point in my life it's actually quicker for me to solder than it is to actually do all that crimp work. My only complaint about this auto stripper is that it tends to build up a bunch of crap in this flat right here. Kind of irritates me. Wow, why don't you want to strip this one? I got to tighten you up just a little more. This silicone-based wire is very nice and flexible, but sometimes it's a little slippery to strip. Okay. In case you didn't notice, back in the background is I moved my CNC up here. It was in the basement, and it's just getting to be a pain to run up and down the stairs with my knees all day long. So I moved it up here. So this black wire here is actually the common for all of the is the black wire. I purposely did it so pin number 5, which is always traditionally the ground, be it RS-232 or joysticks or whatever, pin 5 happens to be ground. So I'm going to continue that tradition. I put my, I use an IDC cable, and if you put the red on 1, you end up with black on 5. Just the way the colors alternate. Come on, hands. Oh, I was working all day today, my day job. It's tiring. Doing a bunch of testing on this pack charger and discharger for electric vehicles. That's what I do during the day. I'm a test engineering architect. So I've tested many different things. But my degree's in electronics engineering. If this was a regular joystick, I would use the fast-on connectors, because I've had more than one customer ask to upgrade the joystick, which is fine, but this is never going to be like an option for this, because again, with the custom decks and everything, it's never really going to be a thing I want to try to do. It's just getting this spacing figured out has been a pain. In other news, because the custom service is overwhelmed right now, we have my initial customers who bought I think 8 controllers so far. That's gonna have to wait until my joysticks are stuck in customs right now to come through. I have parts for another 15 that are stuck in customs. So I'm not going to change the back order status until it actually clears customs. What a pain. This is all, I mean, this whole tariff thing is just, for small businesses, it's been a complete pain. Everything's taken forever. Everything costs much more than it used to. It's just been very frustrating. I don't know how to plan. I've got way too much inventory right now because I did a bunch of panic buys. So I actually have a summer sale right now, if you'd like it, for my 5200 controllers, because I just got another 20 and I have 53. I have 53 of these in stock right now. I never carried this much stock ever. That's a lot of carrying costs, and I gotta sell stuff before the end of the year because you gotta pay taxes on it in Illinois for your inventory. So I have to sell in the next 6-7 months a bit of that inventory. Believe it or not, my company's an LLC, so I have to like report stuff and fun things like that. I never knew until starting a small business that the at least in Illinois, the not only being the Department of Motor Vehicles, but apparently small businesses are part of the Secretary of State. I never knew that. Because when I went to get the LLC, I went to the Secretary of State, which we usually use for a driver's license here in Illinois. I was like, oh wow, I didn't know they also did the business stuff like that. So that was kind of interesting. So yeah, fun times. So I'm just going through right now and just soldering up a bunch of the common lead to all of it. So how it works is on the Intellivision controller, pin number 5 is the ground, and the weird slightly off diagonal to give you the true 16 directions is a pin dedicated just for itself. Pin number 9, by the way, on if you're looking at DB9. Oh, other news, I did get my Intellivision, my whatever the heck the original model number is, 2609, I think, 2609A. I did get that in the mail. I didn't even open it up yet. It's untested, but I shall open it up and test it eventually. As I wanted to use, I'm sure whatever it is fixable. I'll have to add a AV out mod, but I did that on my Intellivision 2 already, so that way I can create the Intellivision 1 controller, make sure it all works, match the styling up nicely. And also I ordered a what's it called, a Cricut, so I can produce some fancier looking art for my controllers, so make them look a little more professional. So that'll be not anytime soon. It's for some reason taking a long time to ship. But yeah, I'll have fancier vinyl graphics for my controllers moving forward, so looking forward to that. Give things a little, spruce them up a bit. Actually keep a wire rack, wire spools up top. I found paper towel holders for my workbenches are all pegboards, and paper towel holders are perfect for wire spools. Kind of neat. Little hint for anyone out there who wants to have a nice inexpensive way to hold small spools of wire. Actually, a big spool of wire because it's for paper towels. So I keep all my wire up there. So if you see me grabbing upwards, I'm just grabbing it's not magic, I'm just pulling the wire off the spool on my workbench here. So yeah, this will keep it neat and tidy. I noticed on my original prototype controller, the fast on connectors tended to be a bit kind of hit the bottom of the housing, the enclosure I cut. So right now I'm just going through and doing this. And I also have had some good conversations with the people on Facebook about Intellivision, and I realized I had one slight, I wouldn't call it an issue, but something I'd be mindful of on the keypad, as I actually use 2 keypads, one on top of the other. And so as long as I keep the row keypad on the bottom, so when those domes collapse, everything collapses at once, so we don't have any unintended directions. So I'll test that out the next time I get this fired up. So this is going to be the production controller number 1. I'm sorry, I can't remember who ordered the first one. My paperwork's over there. But yeah, this will be the first production unit going out the door. So yeah, I do have parts on hand for 9 joysticks. I have 9 joysticks, and I'm waiting on 15 more once they get through customs. This is actually a really nice stripper. These are expensive though. Oh my goodness. That's like $50 for this thing. It's crazy. Works great. It's super overpriced, but I find a lot of my best tools are super overpriced. So I just bought a nice set of hardened steel flush cutters with hidden spring and everything. So that should be coming Friday. Oh, very exciting. So yeah, today I was attempting to get a charger-discharger to pass what's called conducted emissions. So it's the back electromagnetic frequencies that go back down your AC line, and so it's not too noisy. It doesn't interfere with radio communications or other equipment. But darn thing's noisy. In EMC, it is like a black magic. It's very difficult to like track down and fix. So I'm just going through and soldering this one up instead. The buttons, which I have plenty of now, they came in, thankfully. Those will have fast ons there and there. So in case you ever want to like swap out to a different style, they're standard 30mm sandworm clone buttons. So if you ever want to swap them out with something else, it's not going to be anything exotic to swap them out. Yeah. So at least I got tons of parts for the 5200 controllers. I still need to release that my LT. It's just been a busy day job, and then I want to get this rolling. So I have a bunch of orders for these until I can actually get some. I want to get ahead of these Intellivisions so I can release the Intellivision 1 controller as well, and the handed version. That one's coming up too, so it's just going to have the joystick by default on the left hand side. That's next. I gotta cut. I already have the CNC files for it. I just need to do a cut one of these nights once I'm done catching up here. So yeah, if you placed an order already, I do have parts for all of them. It's just a matter now of getting new parts in so I can actually move on with life here. Alright, almost rounded the bend here. It's nice and neat wiring. Nice and tight. Just need to be crazy long. And a little shorty. I did have a nice gentleman contact me. He's a local to the Chicagoland area, actually not too far from where I work, and he was interested in using the my controllers with a Bluetooth adapter. But I know the Intellivision uses a really different like schema than any other controller does, so I don't, because the keypad and the way the buttons work, it's very different. Than most controllers, you press a button, you bring a line down to ground, whereas on these guys, the only thing that only pulls one down the ground are this lower deck of the original joystick deck will pull down single lines, but even the buttons on the side are pull two lines down, which makes it a challenge. This is why some, I forget which controller, has actually, you have to press two buttons to get the third button to work, and that's because of the way the logic is for the controller. But you can get around that just using diodes, which is probably going to end up using boards like this for that for now. If I get tons of orders, I'll make a custom one up. But for now, I'm just going to hand solder it. It's not a huge deal. But yeah, my controller, you don't have to worry about double, that sounds dirty, double fingering buttons to get the third button. They're each independent of each other, and I have verified that. Length, what do I need? Let's see. Joystick sits down here. I'm going to have the, let's orient it this way. I want it on the upper right side there. leave it a little long. There we go. Yeah, for I also didn't want to have to use any external power to run this, so everything is passive components. So that's why I went with the 2 layers of for the keypad, and that works. As long as I make sure the deck is in the right spot, which upper and lower ones won't have any issue with unintentional directionality. I really appreciated some of the inputs I've been getting on critiques, which is good. I like constructive criticism. Particularly on, I realized I was pointed out to me my logic was incorrect when it comes to the getting all 16 directions. So I was only had 12 directions, and they have 16 directions. So fix that. So it truly is 16 directions now. And then for the upper deck, so that gets ground wired to all 8 micro switches. Upper deck all shares one pin, and on these switches, this is the normally open, that one's normally closed. In case you ever wonder what that means, it's like when it's just sitting there. If I ohm this out, this will be open, that will be closed, and vice versa. Okay, good. So I kind of want to come out the same direction for both. Yeah. This will be fairly straightforward. So I do this to relax. After a hard day of work, I come home and work some more. Yeah, the local gentleman, he was he's gone through lots of different cancer therapies, cancer treatments, and my wife has been no evidence of disease for 1 year from breast cancer now, and but one of the consistent problems is something called neuropathy, which is basically numbness in your fingers. And needless to say, these tiny little buttons on the Intellivision are not very conducive to people with neuropathy. So, yeah, I'm tempted to make like a USB version of some of these controllers, so people can use them with emulators. So my older brother, who lives down in Texas, his whole thing is he actually makes controllers too for people who are differently abled. So I think that's interesting. It's for modern systems like Xbox, wherever the hell it is now. I've just never really... I mean, I could do that work, but it's not... I mean, to me, this is more interesting to do the obtuse systems. I mean, it's a noble cause, but I like being able to figure out crazy systems with terrible controllers like the 5200, Atari 5200. I never cared for his controller. That whole like claw death grip between that and 7800, I can't stand it. It just hurts my hands, so I don't really like it. So that's one of the reasons I created that, and the fact for some reason no one's come up with a true analog. And yeah, and of course with all my controllers, everything is brand new. It's nothing has been harvested from existing controllers. It's all brand new. You can see this is all brand new stock, so it's nothing's been reused. It's all brand new. And since I'm here, I just might as well make these all the same length. 2, So all the parts are brand new, so you don't have to worry about harvesting old parts to get things going. Like this, I mean, I literally printed this up last night. I think it took 6, well, maybe 7 iterations to get it just right. So now I'm going to finish testing this one out, and I'll end up printing some more. I printed out 4 for now, but I'll print out more. If these work out, I'll just keep printing them, and then maybe tweak the length of these actuators just a little shorter. Get a little more separation between the, because the start of it on the beginning lever side is just fine here. It's just this end just seems to be hanging up us a little bit too long, so I'll have to trim that down just a touch. So yeah, just going through and soldering these all up. And as I get more experienced, I'll be able to speed this up a bit. I don't mind soldering though. It's relaxing. As the rest of the controller, this is actually the most complicated part here. Oh no, keypad's a pain too. Keypad's got a lot of connections, of course, because you got 7 connections plus the ground. So you got quite a bit going on there. And again, this is all the upper deck I added, which is that weird 12 and a quarter degree directions. Okay. Yeah, so I went through and brought my CNC up here. It's too noisy to run while doing videos, of course. It's just, I mean, it's a CNC. It's spinning 18,000 RPMs, which is like the optimal. I use for anyone cutting ABS plastic, the magic combination is 18,000 RPM. I use a 2-flute cutting tool. The 2-flute, I wish I could find a single flute, but 2-flute works really well, and don't go any faster than 350 millimeters per minute on your XY, and it cuts pretty darn consistently, and I get really good life off of the cutting head. And I use a 1/4 millimeter ball end. If anyone else has a CNC out there. Cool tool though. A little more versatile than a laser cutter. Laser cutters are neat, but for what I needed to do, I need something that would cut ABS. Problem with ABS is it melts. It doesn't catch on fire, but it does melt. So when you go to cut, it can be a challenge to cut with a laser. I wanted ABS. There's a lot of your commercial enclosures are made of ABS. I didn't want to mess with acrylic. Acrylic smells. Ugh. We have a laser cutter at work that they cut. Well, those wires are long. I'll shorten this one up. Next time I'll shorten these up. And it just reeks when you cut acrylic. Oh, it's terrible. It's like we had ended up sticking in front of a paint booth hood because it's just gaggerific. Alright, just finish this up here. And that'll finish off the upper deck, or lower deck, depending on which direction you're looking. I do have a fume extractor, but it's gonna be way, that's this guy here, it's gonna be way too loud for videos. Much better. I think I might need to trim like another 0.5 millimeter. Maybe. No, it's not bad though. Angle wise, I can see it's not bad. Just that one direction over here seems a little long. Yeah, I can see it on the actuator too. It's just a tear longer than the other ones. Yeah, I can trim that down. Alright. Now I know I gotta trim it just a little more. I could actually take this apart. It's actually not impossible to do. And trim that back just a little bit. Yeah, so a while back what I had to do, that's all wired up still. This is the original restrictor plate. This is just a round restrictor here, and I had to model it all up. This is my version. Of course, it's got an extra chunk on the edge, but who cares? If I felt like cutting this down, I could, but don't care. It gives it a more stable shape anyway. So I actually had to end up measuring all this out and copying this. So it's a drop-in replacement. So it actually goes this way. You can see actually how nicely. I mean, it's like, it is really dead on to the original, so it took a while. Oh my goodness. So this is all modeled up. The other deck is completely new, and I'm thinking I just need to just chop that down just a little bit. Oh, I really burnt my finger there. Yeah. Got a cut on my hand here from working on a big resistor bank. Oh, that was not fun. I had to go back to my electronics 101 and remember how to need to get 12 ohms out of a set of 32 20 ohm power resistors. So I had to do all sorts of, I had to remember my Kirchhoff, how to get it all redone. Yeah, I could tell these are just a touch. Yeah, this guy here is long. That's why I'm coming off a little long on that. In that one direction, I can hear it. I'll probably end up precisely doing this in a. There we go. That's better. Those are nice and short now. I'll shorten this guy up just a tiny bit too. I did get some better flush cutters though. These are El Cheapo Chinese $2 specials here. I bought a $12 set of flush cutters instead. There we go. Now give me a better cut there. I'm already wrecking these. I could see the jaws are already starting to come apart there. Yeah, that looks better. Cool. Alright, put you back together. Back into your home, boys. Wrong way. I'll put this back together first. This goes over top. Yeah, it's really hard to see, but this is actually a 16-way. Oh, I don't think it shows up in video. It's actually a 16-way gate I made for this thing. Kind of cool. So you'll probably never feel it unless you really. 2 jobs ago, I used to work for a company called Grayhill, which makes human interface devices. So I got to be a bit of a circus freak when it came to optical encoders. They came up to 32 positions, and to this day, if I get in a car and it still has knobs, I can tell you how many positions it is and what kind of detent system they used internally. If it's a ball spring ball or leaf spring, single leaf, double leaf. It's because if you've turned enough of these things, I can even come within probably 0.1 inch ounces of what the torque value is just from the feel of it. So when you see me close my eyes and just feeling and listening, it's because I've turned many human interface devices over the years. Probably thousands of them at this point. Yeah, I made these end-of-line testers. They're called Fate. It was the fully automated tester for encoders, and it was a neat 2-axis system where it would come down, grab onto the end of the optical encoder. Well, first we would run a push button test because they had push buttons on there, and it would run through a test where it would record the torque and the push button and where the detents clicked over from one to the next. Because most of your switches are actually optical encoders now, which is a this fancy term is quadrature encoder. Where the hell are the rest of my screws at? Oh, giant thing of screws. There you are. They're not mechanical. There's actually no rubbing components. It's what's known as an optical encoder, which is a quadrature pair. And what the hell does that mean? Is you have an LED and a phototransistor, and between them there is a code wheel. And how it works is they look like Z's really. So if A leads B, you're going clockwise. If B leads A, you're going counterclockwise. So you could tell position and direction of rotation. Fascinating stuff you learn. It's the weird thing about being a test engineer. You have to learn a lot about the stuff you're testing. So you generally get to know the product about as well as whoever designed it in the first place. As you can't test it unless you know how it works. Speaking of that, how does this go back together? Yeah, I just wanted to get this back together real quick so I can feel it. And then tomorrow night I'll get it electrically hooked back up. Test her out. And I'll show everyone how it works. Other than just feeling it, I actually get to see it on the screen. I also need to open up that, probably end up opening up that Thursday, it's Wednesday round, so tomorrow's Thursday. I'll open it up and see if I can, see how well the television's working. Actually one's this way. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. Nice. That sounds right. It's a weird sound now. Yeah, well, it works though. I mean, it's what it should be doing. Like 12.5 degrees isn't much, is it? Yikes. But it's working though. It's there. It's your one little diagonal. Then you hit that second one that gets you the true diagonal. And then it comes off there. You hear it coming off. Yeah, that works. Nice. Cool. Here's your True 16 joystick. I gotta finish putting some other wires on here. And of course finish wiring up. I got 1, 2, 3. I got 3 enclosures cut. Probably end up cutting up another one, 4th one tonight. I'm doing these in batches of 4, so I'll do the initial 4, then another 4. Goodness willing, I'll be shipping out some controllers this weekend. So people will start getting the first batch of Intellivision controllers, which is cool. And yeah, everyone, thank you for watching. Excuse me, I'm going to finish putting some more wires on this guy. And yeah. Hopefully tomorrow night I'll have some time to pull my new Intellivision out and see how that looks. And go from there. What the heck are you doing here? That's a leather punch. I use it for punching through keyboards. But anyways, everyone, thank you for watching and have a great night.